During the mid-credits of Squid Game Season 2, audiences get a sneak peek at the next game, and based on Gi-hun's strange decision in Season 2, one shocking theory makes absolute sense. But before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, drop us a like and a comment, and if you're able, please join for channel memberships for exclusive content, which really helps us out. Anyway, back to the video. So, released at the very end of December 2024, Squid Game Season 2 sees the return of Gi-hun as he dedicates himself to taking down the Squid Games once and for all. As a result, he finds himself back in the arena attempting to save as many lives as he can. Unfortunately, by the end of Squid Game Season 2, Gi-hun finds himself in a difficult spot. Season 2's mid-credit scene is of particular interest because it shows the return of a familiar game, but with a clear twist. During the scene, viewers are shown the little girl statue who shoots at players during red light green light. However, across from her there seemed to be a little boy statue as well. When the light turns green, it's clear that the game has begun. With so little to work with, it isn't entirely clear what Squid Game Season 3 will bring, yet viewers definitely have their theories. One popular theory about the Squid Game mid-credit scene is that the players will be forced to participate in the trolley problem. The main piece of evidence that supports this is that the red and green light shown in the clip looks like the light used for crossing trains rather than the light used for red light green light. Many believe that the little girl and little boy statues represent two trains which players will have to lie in front of, awaiting their fate as other players decide what to do. The trolley problem totally makes sense for Squid Game, even if it isn't a traditional type of children's game. Season 2 in particular emphasizes how much Squid Game players decide who lives or dies. For example, the Mingle game forced players to choose whoever was most important to them to bring into a room, leaving others to die. The fight in the bathroom also shows how much leverage the players have. Therefore, putting the trolley problem in the hands of the participants is right up Squid Game's alley in terms of morality. Another reason why the trolley problem makes so much sense is because of the difficult decision Gi-hun made in the final episode of Season 2. As a result of Gi-hun's plan to overthrow the guards, he allowed countless people to be slaughtered right in front of his eyes and those of his allies. In-ho even questioned this choice, wondering if their survival was really for the greater good. Yet Gi-hun follows through with his plan, which is very much like the trolley problem. Gi-hun chose to save himself and his friends over the many other players. In general, Gi-hun's decision says a lot about his character in Season 2. It's no secret that Gi-hun changed immensely from Season 1 to 2. The protagonist went from being a desperate gambler to a fierce and skilled player dedicated to justice and truth. However, his sacrifice casts a large shadow over his new persona. Gi-hun cares about saving people's lives, but only to a certain extent. His desire for revenge seems to outweigh his hopes for others' survival. Unfortunately, this is not a good look for him. Finally, the theory of the trolley problem makes sense for the frontman. In-ho entered the games just like Nam did and went so far as to befriend Gi-hun. In this way, it's clear that In-ho is a manipulative person who is willing to go to great lengths to get what he wants. Therefore, it wouldn't be surprising if he capitalized on Gi-hun's choice by bringing it into the games, forcing him to pick who lives and who dies. It would be the ultimate insult to Gi-hun, who has spent so much time talking about protecting others' lives. In general, the issue of the frontman will be huge in Squid Game Season 3. Gi-hun still has no clue that he was playing alongside the frontman, but presumably the frontman will reveal his identity at a certain point to make Gi-hun feel foolish. The only question that remains is how this scenario will go down and how Gi-hun will rise up against him. At this point, Squid Game hasn't revealed too much about its future plans, but it's just enough to keep viewers excited.